Today we're going to talk about the dangers of lead paint. Now, many people have at least heard that old paint can contain lead that can be harmful, but many do not know how or why it is. The lead found in old paint is considered inorganic lead. Inorganic lead compounds are classified as probably carcinogenic to humans by the International Agency of Research on Cancer. A carcinogen is defined as any substance or agent that tends to produce a cancer. So, what is lead and how are we exposed? The CDC defines lead as a soft blue gray metal. Lead occurs naturally, but much of its presence in the environment stems from its historic use in paint and gasoline and from ongoing or historic mining and commercial operations. Lead is found in abundance in our environment, and because of this, it is traceable in most people's bodies today. The most common route of exposure occurs primarily through ingestion, and the second common route is inhalation. Deteriorating lead paint is the biggest source of elevated levels of lead in the blood in children. The effects of overexposure to lead are these. Lead toxicity can affect every organ system. It is impossible to list off all of the effects here. Some quick facts about the effects on health due to lead toxicity are: the nervous system is the most sensitive target, can cause depression and mood changes. It inhibits the body's ability to make hemoglobin, causes severe cramping and abdominal pain in cases of severe overexposure, can contribute to hypertension, and creates more adverse pregnancy outcomes. Now, what are our best practices for reducing our exposure to lead paint? Lead-based paints were banned for use in housing in 1978, but they still remain today in older homes and in workplaces. Some basic best practices to reduce exposure to lead from old paint are these. First, assume paint in older homes or older workplaces contains lead unless tests show otherwise. Have lead paint removed or sealed by a professional, especially if it's flaking or chipping. Do not disturb old paint. Creating dust or breaking off flakes can increase the likelihood of the lead being inhaled or ingested. Clean children's toys and play areas often. Wet mop floors and wipe down windowsills. Lead dust can collect in these areas. Also, for our purposes, if you suspect you are in a situation, perhaps on a job site, where there's the possibility that lead paint is present, a test can be purchased from a local hardware store and applied to verify whether there is lead paint or not. And if there is, then you should stop work until the lead is properly abated by whoever is responsible for the abatement, most likely the general contractor. It's important to understand where lead is found in our environment and the health effects related to overexposure. Oftentimes, many people develop an illness, but it's misdiagnosed by a doctor or disregarded by the individual altogether. If you suspect you or a person that you love is suffering from lead poisoning, talk with your doctor. Blood tests are available that can determine the amount of lead in a person's blood. As we work on these jobs, especially in these older buildings, we need to be consciously aware that there is the potential for exposure to lead, and so we need to address that and satisfactorily resolve it before we continue with our work.